Hey guys, welcome back in another video. In this video, we're gonna talk about what to do if you feel powerless, stuck, trapped in a situation where you don't know how you're gonna overcome it, where you feel like small and insignificant. No matter what you do, you may feel like it's not gonna change anything, it's not gonna work out, I don't know how to achieve and manifest what I want. When you find yourself in this kind of mental and emotional point of view, it can be draining, it can be tiring, it can be isolating, and it can also put you in a very weak and vulnerable victim situation. Unfortunately, that's when we're giving our power away the most, and that's when we find ourselves being the most vulnerable and the most struggling to actually change our situation. But the reality is that you're so powerful that you convinced yourself that you're not. And there lies your biggest power. And your biggest power lies into what you think and how you think of yourself and how you see yourself and what you declare yourself to be. That's what you're going to be. And that's the kind of life you're going to have. And I want to give you a metaphor to illustrate that and to help you really cement this situation so you can start to see and think of your life differently. And the metaphor goes like this. It's about a giant and a grasshopper. Maybe you're familiar with it. And it goes like something like this. In a land far, far away, there was a giants. There was a land of giants, and we, in our own sight, saw ourselves as grasshoppers, and the giant, in their sight, saw us as grasshoppers. Now you may be wondering, what's this metaphor has to do with you? Well, think about this. Right now, if you feel powerless in your life and you gave your power away, you see yourself pretty much as a small, tiny, insignificant grasshopper in a world full of giants. The giants represent your problems, the bills, your jobs, all the things that are not working, the people in your life, all those world situations that are going fucking mad, that are out of your control. And you feel like, oh my God, how am I gonna ever live the life that I want when all of this stuff is going on around me? And that's how we feel. And it even says that in the sight of the giant, we were grasshoppers. And I think that's very important because you can only be to others that which you are to yourself. And if you see yourself as a weak, insignificant, powerless person, other people are going to treat you as such. Because your life is always going to be a reflection of your self-image. And that is the key here, is that you are only a grasshopper because of your self-image, not because of the giant. The giants are not necessarily giant, but the giants are giants because you see them as huge, crazy, and there's nothing I can do about it. But the moment you realize that, okay, I only have this incorrect perception of my life situation, of my life ability and who I am, is the moment you can start to change that. Because the moment you change your self-image and you release those limiting stories, limiting thoughts and the beliefs and the emotional pattern that are keeping you in survival, that are keeping you small, that are keeping you hiding, that are keeping you addicted or dependent on certain situation or waiting to be saved by some external forces. The moment you divorce and you get rid of those stories is the moment you can create a new story. It's the moment you can create a new identity and you can claim yourself to be that which you want to be. Whether you want to be a grasshopper or a giant is entirely up to you. Whether you want to be this or that and the way you want to believe about yourself, whatever you tell yourself, whatever you keep repeating to yourself, whatever you keep affirming, whatever you keep embodying is that which you're going to be in your life. And it might need a bit of time and a bit of work because you might be in a situation where you had that pattern for so long that you feel like, this is who I am. It's always been this way. How can I ever get more than what I had my entire life? And that's, by the way, if it feels natural, this is who I am, it's always been this way, that means that your self-image is deeply rooted in this identity, in this limited identity as a grasshopper. And you're going to need to do a lot of work to remove those weeds and root out all those beliefs and stories that are not supporting the life that you really want to live because you feel it's unattainable, because it's a giant. who am I to live a giant life? But the moment you made yourself to be the giant and to make those goals that you want smaller than you, how much lighter and easier it becomes. And not only that, but once you become a giant and you awaken that giant between, other people will start to see you as that person, because you can only be to others that which you are to yourself. And if you treat yourself with respect, with kindness, with confidence and self-esteem and self-love, other people will start to echo that to you, and you'll start to echo that to others. So in order for you to crush that powerless victim story out of your consciousness and raise to a level of consciousness that allows you to completely see your life in a different ways, you're going to need to reframe your self-image, the way you see yourself. And you're going to need to be very honest. You're going to need to look at which area of your life and which belief and where in your life do you feel yourself small, where you feel yourself you don't have what it takes, you don't have the ability, you're too weak, you're too small, you're too ugly, you're too poor, you don't have this, you don't have that. All those beliefs, they have to go. You cannot be half giant, half grasshopper. Those beliefs, those conflicting beliefs, will create mental warfare between yourself. And ultimately, you're going to end up going back to the old beliefs. You gotta choose and you gotta step up into your power. And when you claim your power, you'll see just how natural it can be for you to see yourself as confident, loving, kind, rich, abundant, successful. But it won't happen until you make that shift in consciousness first, from which you see the things you want by the consciousness that you want to embody. Meaning, see yourself as the giant in the land, the king in your own land, and everything else as grasshoppers or as equal. It's up to you. I know that you are creative power, and we have all phenomenal ability to create the life that we desire by just mastering our mindset, our thoughts, our attitudes, our feelings, our emotions, our actions, and driving that focus toward what we want. It takes time, it takes effort. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. But what other choice do you have? Living a life powerless is not easy either. So you have to choose, and it's a choice that you can only make yourself. I know that you are a force to be reckoned with, a powerful creator. But the real question is, do you know that yourself? Are you convinced of that fact yourself? Because that's what matters most. And if today you can stand up like a powerful being and walk around feeling powerful, feeling like no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it, and you can demand that life throws only the very best at you, because that's what you're worthy of and that's what you deserve, and you're not gonna take anything else, and that your success is unavoidable. You're gonna need that level of commitment, that level of intensity, and life will respond. And if you show up over and over and over again in your power, to the point where it feels natural, something is bound to change in your life. And when it happens, everything will change. So your power lies in your self-image. Your power lies in the state of consciousness in which you occupy today and every day and every moment. You can either be the grasshopper or the giant. The choice is entirely yours. But the quality of your life will greatly depend on based on what and who you are. So I hope this video is helpful, guys. If you like and find it useful, please comment, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Be well and stay powerful.